Hi everyone, today we're live on Instagram and we're going to be talking to the BVRLA and specifically Greg, the memberships manager, is going to be joining us in a minute. It's been a while since our last live, but we're very excited to see you all here today. So great, so we'll just get started in 1 minute as I add Greg. Coastr is proud to be an associate member of the BVRLA. Here is Greg. Hiya, Greg.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, afternoon. Could you rotate the camera if you click on the picture?
Click on the picture.
Yeah. Or rotate your phone. Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah. So hi everyone. Greg is here now, and so just a little bit background about Greg. I joined the BVRLA in 2014 and spent his whole career within the automotive rental and leasing sector. Your introduction, I believe, was within a Ford main dealership, and then you moved on to one of the other major rental companies. And so we're really happy to have you today. Greg is currently the memberships manager at the BVRLA. So yes, welcome, Greg.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we'll just get started. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat during the live, and we'll try and get back to you during the live, and if not, at the end. So firstly, why don't you just give us a little introduction about what the BVRLA is and why there's such a need for this association today?
Yeah, the BVRLA is, oh gosh, some 53 years old now, and we are the trade body for the rental and leasing sectors of the UK market, with close to 1,000 members, ranging across the rental and leasing sectors, and obviously another growing sector of our membership is leasing brokers. So they are all part of the BVRLA now as well.
Great. And so why do you think there's a need for an association like that in today's time?
I think most sectors need a strong trade body behind them. We represent, and I understand you're having another session with my colleague Amanda in a few weeks' time, and she's going to get down into some of the nitty gritty of some of the policy work that we do behind the scenes. We represent our members behind the scenes, speaking to various different stakeholders, speaking to government, councils, and so forth. A lot going on at the moment with in the road to decarbonisation, which the BVRLA is very, very active in. And I think this, the sector needs a trade association, yes, to represent them, and almost to give our members that badge of honour, to show they are a BVRLA member and they abide by the BVRLA Code of Conduct.
Yeah.
All our members sign up to a Code of Conduct, and they are regularly monitored against it.
Excellent. Yeah. And I think Coastr has definitely found that by being an associate member, because we have a lot of shared values like that, such as sustainability. So it's great to be part of an organisation that does support similar visions to ours. So you just talked about some of those benefits. So how exactly does one become a member of the BVRLA?
Yes, dialogue would come through myself and my team. Either potential members would contact us, or indeed at times we might contact you, and outline the benefits of membership. When you come into membership, we do some desktop compliance. So we will look at things like your information notice, your complaints procedure, your rental agreement, website, and so forth. And we will go through those. Then we would onboard a member, and when after membership has started, we would then do a physical inspection of that rental business. And in the rental sector, that is conducted by the AA.
Okay.
Well, they will come out and they will look at to what we would call ready to rent assets,
Right.
to make sure they're safe and so forth. The BVRLA doesn't say that our members have to rent brand new vehicles.
Okay.
Most do, but of course the BVRLA say that they have to be, of course, safe vehicles.
Right.
So that would, and then the AA would look at a few rental procedures and so forth, how the customer is treated, etc., etc. Then that inspection then would happen every 2 years.
Okay.
So every 2 years, 18 months to 2 years, that inspection would be repeated.
Okay. And so that's so that you can maintain the standards and the code of conduct.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah.
So do you find that some companies do struggle with the prerequisites, the conditions, and do you give them support to help them get through those?
Yeah, very much so. I would say onboarding any business to the BVRLA is actually a very good, cost-effective, in inverted commas, business health check.
Yeah.
Because our fees, because we are a non-for-profit trade association, so the BVRLA isn't a profit-making entity.
Right.
Of course, we do at times need a surplus to help with some of the lobbying activities that I mentioned earlier on.
Okay.
But it's a very, very good. On application, a member might say to us, "Oh, I don't have a complaints procedure."
Right.
Well, we would then say, "Well, we do. We have a template of one." And we would send it over to the prospective member, and we will help them put a complaints procedure together,
Right.
and so forth. So very much so. We very much help new applicants, which can be a new applicant can be a very young business. At times they could be a young business new to the sector. And that's potentially when a member needs our guidance the most.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to hear that you're really helping all levels of rental companies. But so you mentioned a little bit about supporting newer companies. So how do you support entrepreneurs looking to start their new vehicle business right at the beginning? Should they wait a bit before they join you?
Yeah, I think. Yes, prerequisites. You need to be trading to apply for membership. You need to be trading because to onboard you, we've got to look at something. And if there's no business to onboard,
yeah,
at the end of the day, there's nothing to look at. On our website, there are some very generic points about anybody looking to get into the sector. So if you go to the BVRLA homepage,
yeah.
If you go to guidance, about 3/4 of the way down the tabs, there is a tab to say thinking about starting a rental or leasing business, and we list many generic points of guidance and advice, and that is all free. That is in the public area of the BVRLA. Of course, when you come into BVRLA membership, all the gated area of the BVRLA, I guess, in commas, some of the high level advice and guidance is all gated, so only a member can see that. But the thinking about starting a rental or leasing page on the BVRLA is there for all to see.
Great. Yeah, that's great to hear. And then if they had any questions, they'd be able to get into contact about the page.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great to hear that you've got even that guide for people that can't quite join yet. And so then as soon as they start trading, they would be able to join.
They would be able to join if they can show us on application that they are working within our code of conduct, or they manage to present us with the onboarding documentation that we require. Yes.
Great. And yeah, I guess it's such a big community now. As you mentioned, there's 1,000, did you say?
Yeah, close on 1,000 members.
Yeah.
So some of those 1,000 members are like yourself. We've got about, I would say, 150 associate members.
Right.
And associate members are suppliers to the industry.
Okay.
So software providers like yourself, data analysts, and so forth, auction houses, manufacturers are associate members,
yeah,
and so forth. But yeah, close to 1,000 members.
Great. And then we just had one question in the chat. What are your growth plans looking like at the BVRLA? Are you continuing to look at expanding that network?
Yeah, there is only so, and please don't take this as being arrogant at all. But that there is only an element of growth that the BVRLA can do, because if you look at all the major large players,
yeah,
they are all already members of the BVRLA, and I hope, as long as we continue to provide the level of service and support that we do, they will remain members of the BVRLA, and indeed they have been members of the BVRLA for many years.
Yeah.
Our growth is going to be in the SME rental sector. So the SME, maybe the family rental business, maybe a business that is running up to 1 to 100 units. That's where I see our growth. It's in the SME rental space. Indeed, and that has been our growth over the last 4 years. Has been from that sector, because that sector are saying things like, I don't want to be on my own. So having somebody like the BVRLA to go into bat with, I'm not on my own anymore, and I've got the support of the sector's trade association.
Yeah, definitely. We just had one question that I think you covered a little bit earlier, and just maybe you could repeat about the how BVRLA is encouraging zero emission transport and sustainability. Do you want to just sum that up again?
Well, yeah, there is the BVRLA commitment that we signed in the Houses of Parliament with many members, or coming on 2 years ago. But I think if we want to get deeper into that area, can I just sidetrack that for the next call with Amanda? Because
yeah.
I think this one is more about benefits of BVRLA membership rather than the policy side of things.
Yeah, and definitely when you become a member, you get exposed to all of that, and people will find out more through that.
Oh, without a doubt. We have a very strong communications team, and my word, we will communicate to you. During COVID, we sent out a COVID. Well, COVID isn't over, is it? But let's hope we are right at the back end.
Definitely.
During the height of the pandemic, we sent out a COVID bulletin every single day. every single day the BVRLA was out there with guidance and help and support to our members. And no, we communicate very strongly. One point that we haven't mentioned, I'd like to bring up our ADR program,
Yep.
which is a government-approved alternative dispute resolution service.
Okay.
I've been in rental long enough to know if a rental member is going to get a dispute, it's normally about one area. It's normally about the D word. It's normally about damage.
Right.
If a customer disputes a damage charge with one of our members, and you get to a deadlock situation where you cannot agree, your customer is entitled to contact the BVRLA, and we are an evidence-based ADR program. So we will contact our member. We will then get our members' evidence around that particular dispute, basically the damage report and any photographic documentary evidence that the member may have, and we will make a ruling. Once we make a ruling, that is final.
Okay, that's really helpful, definitely.
And to an SME member, largely that service is free. You get X many per year, but largely an SME user will never use up their full allocation.
Wow, and that's definitely easier for an SME if they have Coastr's app, where we do make it really easy to log damage on there. So that would definitely be a great way that they Coastr and BVRLA work together for the SMEs.
I'd also like to touch on we've got a very active training department.
Mm-hmm.
So when a rental member comes into membership, they have to have at least one mandatory rental e-learning license, which has got several modules on there to help our rental members.
Okay.
Mainly linked to our code of conduct, things like dealing with angry customers, RVSS, which not every rental operator knows about, but it's the government's rental vehicle security scheme. Okay. to help our members with counter-terrorism.
Right.
Touch wood, there hasn't been an attack for a few years, but I think we can all remember the news when terrorists have used rental vehicles for terrorist atrocities. Yeah. So we've got a module on that within our e-learning basic package. So, and we have many other courses, some classroom based, and obviously we're moving more and more to e-learning because e-learning is cost effective.
And does all that come with membership, or is that a cost add-on?
The basic rental new member e-learning package is additional to membership, but for the price it is as I touched on, we are a non-for-profit. Each e-license is £99.95.
Right.
So it's very, very cost effective.
Great. And maybe just to sum up, what do you think is the biggest benefit of joining the BVRLA?
I think that there is a number. I don't think it's easy just to say one, but I think the big one is we help separate the wheat from the chaff. Once your BVRLA logo is on your website, yeah, it does show the consumer that badge of honour, and that they are dealing with a company of credibility, with a code that supports it. And I think that is probably the main benefit. Indeed, I regularly, when I occasionally pick the phone up, from an incoming call, we do get a number of consumers saying, they've got the BVRLA logo on their website. Can you just confirm that they are a BVRLA member?
Right.
So our logo is getting more and more recognised out there. And I think the consumer in the modern day world, I think the consumer is looking for that type of reassurance to to satisfy their own minds in the times that we currently live in.
Definitely, yeah, that sign of credibility really helps your rental company stand out for someone else's, probably to most consumers. I think we've just got time for one final question. And
okay.
So we had a question about, do smaller operators get a better deal, or your members treated equally irrespective of the size of the business?
That's an excellent point, and what I should have. Our fee is calibrated against the rental, your fleet size.
Yeah.
So the smaller your fleet, the smaller our fee is. So the first category of membership is a rental member that runs 1 to 10 vehicles, and that's £337 a year.
Right.
The second category, then it goes up in. Then the second category is 11 to 100, is £570 a year, and then so on. So to help smaller businesses, yes, our fee is calibrated against the size of their business.
Great. Yeah, I think that's a perfect explanation for that. Do you have any closing remarks before we finish?
Well, just the closing remarks. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. And if anybody wants to contact me, welcome to via email. My email address is clear there on our website. Anything we can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Great. Yes. No, well, thank you so much for joining us. So if anyone does have any further questions, definitely do not hesitate to contact Greg or look at the BVRLA's website. And we look forward to our next conversation with the BVRLA, where we'll be getting, as we discussed earlier, Amanda on, and we'll be talking more in depth on industry things such as COVID-19 and how BVRLA can support companies at this time. So, yeah, thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining, everyone.